Viva can be a stressful experience for a PhD candidate. I remember walking up and down the hallway leading to my examination room just to calm my nerves.
I think I was quite nervous when I went into the room, and then it took a little bit of time for that to relax again.
I'm Ronak.
I'm Ollie.
I'm Alex, and I'm going to tell you about my Viva experience.
I think the whole of my PhD was pretty good preparation for my Viva. Supervisor meetings, conference presentations, and talking to other academics and PhD students made me pretty ready. And so by the time it came, I just kind of made sure I knew what was in my thesis and tried to stay calm.
I started preparing for my Viva by first carefully reading through my thesis and making sure that every key discussion or key theory is fresh on my mind. I also had mock Vivas with my supervisors, which I really found helpful. And I made sure that I had a look at my examiner's background in order to anticipate the kind of questions that were going to ask me.
I usually cope with stress pretty well. I try and just stay calm and think a situation through. In this case, I found that designating time that was going to be for work and time that was going to be for myself, so that I could still have something like a normal life, some level of normality, that really helped.
As my supervisor once said, the experience of Viva is very anticlimactic. It started by being very nerve-wracking, but soon after maybe 15 minutes, I was really calm and I was actually enjoying myself. I did feel a bit over-prepared. That's not to say that the Viva experience wasn't challenging, but it felt more like a discussion rather than an examination.
My Viva was not how I expected. I expected the internal to be good cop and external to be bad cop, but they decided to swap that around, which I think just goes to show, don't try to plan too heavily, rely on your years of work that you've already done, and just try to stay calm and ready.
If I could change anything, I guess I'd want to spend a little bit more time researching my examiners a bit more and getting to know their research backgrounds in a bit more detail. As ready as I was to defend my own thesis from my own perspective, if I could have anticipated where they were going to come from, the angles that they were going to approach some of the questions, I might have been a bit more prepared than I was on the day.
I think if I could change anything, I would be more confident about my work and sell my thesis better. My best advice would be to practice your starting story. You should be able to describe your project in 5 to 10 minutes. I would also suggest that if you've made any changes to your thesis after your submission, take them with you. Also, be confident in your work, but be open to criticism. And remember that it's okay not knowing the answer to a few questions.
So I'd probably have 2 bits of advice for a potential PhD candidate. The first would be to make sure that you're still leading something of a normal life outside of work. Make sure that you're eating properly, you're gonna sleep right, you're still making time to see your family and your friends. As important as your work is, and as much time as you're gonna be putting into it, just make sure that you're doing something else. And the second one would be to make sure that you're aware of where your research fits in a wider picture. As interesting as your work might be, just having some context on what your research is and how it fits into a wider field, that can be really useful. Remember, this is your first research. It's not going to be your best, and it's not going to be your last.